Hello, everybody, and thank you for joining me today. My name is Matt. I'm part of the support team here at Sourced. And today we're going to run through why motivation doesn't work and perhaps more importantly, what we can do instead. So let's get started. So firstly, what is motivation? Well, motivation refers to the underlying drive, desire, or willingness to that compels us to take action and achieve certain outcomes. It can arise from various sources, might be personal needs, aspirations, values, the influence of others, external rewards like money, and it can be classified into two main types: intrinsic and extrinsic. So intrinsic motivation stems from internal factors such as in the enjoyment you derive from engaging in a particular activity. Um, it's driven by an individual's interest, curiosity, sense of achievement, or desire for personal growth. Extrinsic motivation, on the other hand, arises from external factors such as rewards, recognition, praise, or other tangible benefits. It involves engaging in an activity to obtain a specific outcome or avoid negative consequences. But motivation is a complex aspect of human behavior, and its effectiveness varies from person to person or situation to situation. So, whilst motivation can be a powerful force that drives us to take action, there are several reasons why it may not always work as expected, and we're going to run through some of those now. So, number one, motivation is unreliable, and this is because it's based on factors that we can't always control. One day we might jump out of bed feeling extremely motivated, to go to the gym or sit down and rattle through a to-do list. And the next day we might want to lay in bed all day for no good reason. Levels of motivation are often based on energy levels, which change almost daily, and therefore it shouldn't be relied upon in order to take action. Number two, we may be lacking clarity. So motivation is often more effective when we have a clear and specific goal in mind. If our objective is vague or ill-defined, it can be challenging to maintain a certain level of motivation over time. And therefore, we find that setting specific, achievable, and measurable goals can help us enhance motivation. And this is something that we'll move on to a little bit more later. Number three, there may be an absence of a strong why. So motivation is closely tied to having a compelling reason or purpose behind one's actions. Without a strong sense of purpose or understanding of why a task or goal is important, then motivation can and does wane. It's essential to connect actions to a larger goal or sense of meaning to maintain a high level of motivation. People's strong whys often include things like providing for loved ones. You might want to leave a legacy. You might want to have a positive impact on other people's lives. You might want to build generational wealth for your future family. It's different for everyone. So I'd really try and dig deep here and sort of think about, exactly why it is you are doing what you're doing. And then we've got a little book recommendation here by Simon Sinek, a book called Start With Why. And this sort of, it's a bit of a deep dive into, what your why is and finding your why and why that's so important. Number four, you may have unrealistic expectations, which is something that's actually not uncommon in property. The possibilities in this industry are, incredible. They're huge, but things do take time, and it can take a long time to build a massive rental portfolio or start developing multi-million-pound schemes. Particularly when you're starting out from scratch, it's a long journey. So, if the goals or tasks that you set for yourself are excessively challenging or unrealistic at the start, it can undermine motivation over time when you're seeing that you're not achieving those results that you expected to see. Unrealistic expectations can lead to frustration, disappointment, could be a sense of failure. So by breaking down larger goals into smaller, achievable steps, it can help maintain that level of motivation, because it's easier to see the progress that you're making. Number 5, lack of self-belief. So believing in your ability to succeed is crucial for maintaining motivation. If an individual lacks confidence in their abilities or doubts their level of knowledge or competence, then motivation will obviously suffer. Building self-confidence through #small wins, which is something that we're doing at the moment on Workplace. Learning from your failures, seeking support or mentorship throughout your journey can help to keep you motivated. And that's why we're here at Source, and that's why we encourage everyone within the franchise network to share all of your personal achievements, no matter how small, on places like Workplace and social media, because A, you then have an element of accountability to your peers. People want to see, how things are progressing. And B, it also encourages other people to take similar levels of action. Number 6, external factors and distractions. External circumstances like lack of resources, unsupportive environments, competing priorities, life events, it could be kids, it could be losing your job, blah, 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 can and will impact levels of motivation. Additionally, distractions. We're so distracted these days by everything, social media, chaotic working environments, the next big news story. It can be very difficult to create a conducive work environment. So we recommend things like turning off notifications on your devices, finding a quiet space to work, organizing your workspace, reducing clutter, all those kind of things. It just helps clear your mind and focus on the task at hand. And finally, your emotional and mental well-being. Emotional states, stress, anxiety, depression can significantly impact how motivated we are. Negative emotions or mental health challenges can drain energy and make it difficult to sustain motivation. So taking care of yourself, taking care of your mental health through self-care, stress management techniques, seeking and using a support network, and addressing any underlying issues are crucial for maintaining motivation. Okay, so it's important to remember that motivation is not a constant state, and it does fluctuate over time depending on a variety of factors. So what can we do instead of focusing solely on motivation? Well, different strategies work for different people, so it's important to find out what resonates with you personally. There are several approaches you can take to stay productive, and here are some suggestions. Number 1, cultivate discipline. Instead of waiting for motivation to strike, develop the habit of discipline. Create a routine and stick to it, even when you don't feel like it. By consistently showing up and doing the work, you'll build momentum and make progress regardless of your levels of motivation. You hear about these guys who are in the gym at 5 or 6 a.m. every morning. Do they want to do it every day? No, but they do it anyway because they've developed the habit of discipline, and over time you start to reap the fruits of your labor. Number 2, set clear goals. Now, we at Source recommend setting SMART goals. What are these? Well, these are specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound goals. When you have a clear direction, it becomes much easier to focus on the task at hand and work towards your objectives. And this is why we are big fans of the 90-day planning sessions that we do. 90-day plan allows us to break down those larger goals into smaller chunks and really think about the steps that we need to take in order to achieve that main goal. We find that this approach tends to make those larger tasks feel less overwhelming, and it allows us to make and see our progress incrementally. Number 3, fairly simple one: establish a routine. Create a daily or weekly schedule that outlines your tasks and priorities. When we have a structured plan in place, it becomes easier to maintain focus and stay on track. Include breaks, allocate time for activities that you enjoy, just to help keep a balanced lifestyle and avoid getting burnt out. Number 4, build accountability. Find an accountability partner or join a group of people who share similar goals. We all know that the property world can be a lonely place, so by checking in regularly with others who are in the similar, same industry, and discussing progress, you'll have a sense of responsibility to stay consistent and keep working, even during times when motivation is low. I very much recommend attending local networking events, meeting other property people in your area. You could think about setting up a small mastermind group, with other property people locally. Just get together every month, discuss what you're working on, what your successes have been, what your challenges are. I know a number of people who have done this, and they found that extra accountability and support to be very helpful. So it's something that I would look into. Number 5, focus on the process, not just the outcome. Instead of fixating solely on that end result, try and find enjoyment in the process of doing the work. Embrace the learning experience and the sense of growth that comes with consistent effort, even if the results aren't immediate. We have to learn how to be patient in property. Results in this world can take time. We have to deal with conveyancing, which is incredibly frustrating. We have to deal with renovations and build periods. We have to deal with planning authorities. So things do take time, but the results, if you stick with it, can be life-changing. Number 6, take care of yourself. Ensure that you get enough sleep, eat well, exercise. You want to try and be the best version of yourself if you want to get out there into the world and achieve big things. So taking care of your physical and mental well-being also provides you with the energy and focus that you need to tackle your daily tasks without solely relying on motivation. And celebrate your achievements. If you close a deal, then why not celebrate it? Go out and take your significant other out for dinner. Go and take your team out for drinks. It feels good to celebrate the small wins. So I recommend doing that at every chance that you get. And finally, track your progress. Keep a record of your accomplishments and progress. Seeing how far you've come can be a very powerful motivator. It shows you that your efforts are paying off, and it encourages you to keep going. And then building on that, if you're going to be tracking progress, then why not document your journey on social media? It can seem daunting initially, and I'm not suggesting that you jump right in by doing a Facebook Live every morning telling everyone what you're going to do, but you can start small, post some photos of you out there viewing houses, doing refurbs if you're doing them, meeting clients, meeting investors. It's just a great way of building your profile, and over time, it's a great way of attracting new investors and JV partners, because there will be people out there who resonate with you and what you're doing. And there we have it. So a few key takeaways. Remember, motivation can be a helpful force, but it's not the sole driver of productivity. Instead of waiting for motivation to strike, develop a habit of discipline. If you focus on discipline, you'll do what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like doing it. Set SMART goals. What are these? These are specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound goals. And celebrate your small wins. It feels good to tell people about your successes, and it encourages others to get out there and take action too. Thank you for your time today. If you have any questions, then please get in touch with a member of your support team. Best of luck on your property journey, and I hope you enjoy your day.